I think our plans coincided with the belief that great amount of infrastructure is actually getting built out in India. And we'd identified 48 locations across the country where local and central government infrastructure is getting built together. And there is a lot of economic activity. Where we are sitting in Goa, we've got 3 developments here. There is Konkan, where we've got 3 developments there. There is Neral. So we've got all of these multiple Shimla, these places where there is no cultural tourism, it is pure tourism. On the other side, we have places like an Amritsar or an Ayodhya or a Vrindavan, which are cultural centers getting built. I think the common link is the development of infrastructure, and that's been the theme we picked up throughout.
Hello and welcome. This is Vandana Randani, and with me today is Mr. Abhinandan Lodha, Chairman at the House of Abhinandan Lodha. So, hello Abhinandan.
Hello Vandana.
And what we're basically going to talk about today is your projects across the country, especially in organized plotting developments. Can you tell us why is it that you entered this particular format, and whether you did face any challenges when it came to acquiring land across the country?
Sure. I think my experience in real estate has taught me that the maximum amount of wealth creation and appreciation in real estate actually happens in the ability to own and hold on to clear title land. And my understanding during the period around COVID was that the Indian consumer and consumers across the world are actually moving more and more towards transparency. And if they see transparency, they are willing to be very supportive of new measures of wealth creation. The combination of both of these, we launched our first development in Napoli, which is a 100-acre township, which we are expecting to take close to a year to sell. And we were selling it on an online-only model. So you can come to the site, you can come to our office. Our entire offering is available across the screen. You could be sitting anywhere in India, and if you're wanting to participate in wealth creation in land, then you would sort of be a participant to our process. And we saw phenomenal response. We saw it getting sold out in close to 3 weeks' time. And that made us realize that the consumer proposition for what we are doing, combined with the brand equity which we have in the brand name, is extremely strong. As far as acquiring land, I think acquiring land in India is an extremely local process. And if you don't need local expertise, it's very difficult to acquire land. You need to go to a place. I'll give you the example of Ayodhya, where I think we've been acquiring land since 2021. And for the first 9 to 12 months, we effectively got less than 12 acres of land. But we still kept engaged there. You need to keep meeting the farmers who are the owners of the land. You need to make sure that they understand what you're trying to do. And you need to be very, very patient for them to be comfortable to sell the land if and when they want. So I think local knowledge, local teams, and understanding of local laws, along with the ability to be patient, is a prerequisite to acquiring land in India the way we've done it. It's been quite challenging, but it's also helped us gain a lot of knowledge.
Abhinandan, tell me something. I mean, did your plans kind of coincide with the government's focus on infrastructure development around these temple and cultural centers?
I think our plans coincided with the belief that great amount of infrastructure is actually getting built out in India. And we'd identified 48 locations across the country where local and central government infrastructure is getting built together. And there is a lot of economic activity. If you see where our projects are, there is a very good mix of cultural centers along with pure tourist centers. Where we are sitting in Goa, we've got 3 developments here. There is Konkan, where we've got 3 developments there. There is Neral. So we've got all of these multiple Shimla, these places where there is no cultural tourism, it is pure tourism. On the other side, we have places like an Amritsar or an Ayodhya or a Vrindavan, which are cultural centers getting built. I think the common link is the development of infrastructure, and that's been the theme we picked up throughout.
So how many of these projects have you managed to deliver till now, and how many are in the pipe?
So we've launched 9 of our projects so far. We've delivered 2. One was in Napoli, which is a 100-acre township. Second is Imperial Goa, where we are sitting today. And we are going to be delivering close to another 5 million square feet by December this year, which is 2 more developments, one in Al-Jaleh and one is there.
And what about your investments? How much of it would you have invested, or how much you intend to invest?
I think at this point of time, our investment would have crossed 3,000 crores.
So across 9 locations.
So these 9 locations, and I think we see a multiple of that over the next 2 or 3 years with the kind of success that we are seeing and the locations that we've identified.
So you have 700 acres, which...
Yes, so close to, I would say 700 acres is almost 2 crore square feet. So we have 2 crore square feet of acquired land, which is either already under construction or will be under construction over the next, before March 2025.
Abhinandan, you started with this massive project in Ayodhya. Yeah, tell us about how it all began. What was perhaps the price of the first land parcel you sold, and what is the response right now?
So I think it all began because we were fortunate enough to be part. There was an UP Invest Forum happening in Mumbai,
Right.
and we were fortunate enough to be present there. And when we heard the vision of Honorable Chief Minister Shri Yogi Adityanath, it was very evident to us that this is going to transform the way Uttar Pradesh is actually going to function. And we actually went on the ground. We saw the kind of infrastructure development happening around Ayodhya ji. And that's where we went and acquired the first parcel of land that we have in Uttar Pradesh. We launched this in January 2024. I think at this point of time, we stopped sales in February itself. We are close to being sold out. We have almost no inventory left, and we launched at a price of close to 9,900 rupees a square foot. And it's been a very successful development, not only from a real estate standpoint, but also a standpoint of being able to bring this offering to the entire world. Because today we are the only organized development in all of Ayodhya.
Correct.
And we also managed to get a great hospitality partner like the Leela as part of our development.
What is the current price?
At this point of time, while we are not open for sales, for very specific reasons, if we have to sell, it's at 12,500 rupees a square foot.
Okay. One more question, Abhinandan. I mean, we hear a lot about the actors buying into your project. Now, is it a real-time deal happening, or is it like a quasi-endorsement?
So I think I'll answer this question in 2 parts. Firstly, it's absolutely clearly real-time buying happening. In fact, all the news, there are a lot of actors who bought, only some of the news has come out.
Correct.
And all the news has come out has been obtained from the registrar office, from the registered document, which clearly mention the amount of money paid, etc., etc. So these are clear end-use cases which the actors have chosen to be. And in generally, if you see, a lot of actors in Bollywood have historically kept on investing in land. You see, very often that Dilip Kumarji's bungalow has gone in for redevelopment, Mala Sinhaji's bungalow has gone in for redevelopment, something else has happened somewhere. So they've always historically, I think, invested in land, and they've seen the value land has created. So I think the community believes in land as a, investment case.
And the ROI of what? I mean, what kind of ROI does an investor get?
I think the last 3 years are an exception. ROIs have been in excess of 30%. I would not take that as any guidance for the future. All historic data tells us that if you hold on to clear title land for a period of 10 years or more, in almost any location across India where infrastructure is getting built, your returns are in excess of 20 to 25% compounding.
Which is much more if you were to buy an apartment.
Far more. I think, the underlying story there actually would be, if you look at Mumbai, for example, a lot of redevelopment is now happening in Mumbai.
Yeah.
And redevelopment happens on the same piece of land where a ready building is actually there. Then a developer comes in and says, I'll tear down this building. I will give you the current occupier even more space, 35% extra, 40% extra, whatever the case may be. And then on top of that, I will also have more area for myself to sell, which will be profitable. So all the value actually, if you see, is in the underlying land. The physical asset always depreciates and the underlying land always appreciates.
It's a land game.
It's a land game.
Yeah. My last question, Abhinandan, is got to do with the recent budget proposals. How the budget is, says, one of them being a low Aadhaar digitization of land records. Do you think, this is going to be?
I think it's a great thought by the government. And as we see this implemented, we'll see a lot of participation from developers across India and real estate growth happening far faster as compared to what it happens today. Having been a participant in multiple states, digitize land records wherever they are available, substantially accelerate the process of land development, and add to the transparency for both buyers and developers. So as the government undertakes this and actually gets it done, I think it is going to create one more wave of real estate development across India and will accelerate the overall development curve.
What about the long-term capital gains minus the indexation benefit?
I think, Karan, if you look at the long-term capital gains, we must keep in mind 2 or 3 things. Anybody who's bought in the last 10 years stands to gain. Anybody who buys from today onwards stands to gain. And people are now buying with clear understanding of what they really have to pay. Land as an sector typically sees appreciation well in excess of 15%. If you see appreciation in excess of 15%, is far better to pay 12.5% tax than take indexation benefit.
Correct.
Yes, there is a set of people who may say that they have historic real estate, but they always have the option to go back and invest through capital gains to real estate again. So I think net is a great positive for the industry.
So if you sell a land parcel, buy a land parcel,
It's absolutely great.
Thanks, Abhinandan.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.